Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Oriana and today I will be showing you how to create a manual claim 1500. I will help you learn how to fill a claim 1500 or professional manually so you move forward with your billing without any problem. Remember that there are two types of claims. We have the claim UB04 and the claim 1500. I have another video showing you how to fill an UB04 claim. Keep in mind that the type of claim that you're going to use, either institutional or professional, will depend on the MLTC, insurance company, or payer that you're working with. They decide which one to use. So with that being said, let's go to the practice. Okay, so once that we log in with our username and password, we're gonna go where it says billing and we're going to click where it says manual claim 1500. Here the system is going to show us the claim format, and this format is universal. This claim is easier to fill than the UB04 because you don't need to add a lot of codes or data in this claim. So the first thing that you need to select is the payer or the MLTC. You will have here the list with all the payers. When you get the software, we configured the system and we add all your contracts into the system. So you will have all the payers or all the MLTCs that you're working with on the system. Even though you don't see here the MLTC's address or the payer ID, when you download the EDI file, you will have that information or that data in the EDI file, okay? Like the payer ID and the address and the name, of course, of the payer. Then we have to select the plan of the patient. We have multiple plans. We have Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE Campus. So here we're just going to select the plan of the patient. Most of the patients belong to Medicare or Medicaid. So you are going to select here the plan of the patient. And then we will add the insured ID number. This is going to be the patient's ID. Then we have the patient's name, the patient's date of birth, the patient's gender. Then we will add the patient's name again, where it says insured's name. And then where it says insured address, we're going to add the address of the patient, the street, the city, the state, the zip code, and the phone number. Then on the segment 6, we have patient relationship to insured. Here we're going to select self because it is a self relationship. Then we have again the patient's address. We're going to add the street, the city, the state, the zip code, and the phone number. Then on the segment 9, where it says other insured's name, we don't need to add any information here. On the segment A, B, C, and D, we don't need to add any information. And then on the segment 10, we're going to select no for all the options that we have here. Is patient's condition related to employment? We select no. To auto accident, we select no. And to other accident, and we select no. Then we have the insured's policy group or number. We are not going to add any information here. And then we have the patient's date of birth again and the gender. Then on the segment B, we don't need to add any data. And on the segment C, we don't need to add anything in there. Then we have, is there another health benefit plan? We're gonna click no. Then we have the patient's or authorized person's signature. We're going to click or we're going to select yes. And this means that I authorize the release of any medical or other information necessary to process this claim. I also request payment of government benefits either to myself or to the party who accepts assignment below. We're going to click yes, or we're going to select yes. And then we're going to add the state of care of the patient. Then on the segment 13, we have insured or authorized person's signature. And here we're going to click yes as well. Then from the segment 14 till the segment 20, we don't need to add any data, okay? Then we have the segment 22 that says resubmission code. If we are submitting a corrected claim, we're going to add the number 7 or the code 7 to identify that this is a corrected claim. And where it says original reference number, we're going to add the claim insurance number. If you are submitting an original claim, you don't need to add any data here, okay? Remember that this is just when you're submitting a corrected claim. Then we have the segment 21, and it is the diagnosis code of the patient. We are just going to add the diagnosis code into the box A. Then we have the prior authorization number, and here we're going to add the number of the authorization or prior approval. Then on the segment 24, we can add the services that were provided. We're gonna select the date when the service was rendered. Then we're gonna select the place of service, and here the place of service is going to be 12. This is a code and it means home. So we're gonna select 12, or we can just type 12. Then on the EMG, we don't need to add any information here. And then we have the procedures, services, or supplies CPT. Here we're going to add the CPT code or the procedure code. This is the code to identify the type of service that was provided. So, for example, if you are an adult daycare center and you are providing social daycare services, the code for that service is going to be S5105. If you are providing meals, the code is going to be S5170. If you are providing transportation services, the code is going to be T2003. If your code has any modifier, you need to add it on the box next to the CPT code, okay? You cannot add the modifier next to the CPT code. You need to add it on the box that is next to the CPT code, in case that the code has a modifier. If it doesn't have one, then you don't need to add any modifier. Then we have the diagnosis pointers, and we're going to put the letter 8, or we're going to add the letter A. And this is referring to the diagnosis code that you added on the segment 21. Then we have the charges, and this is going to be the rate of the service that was provided. And then we need to add the days or units. Normally for social daycare, it's only 1 unit because it's a per visit service. So it's going to be only 1 unit. If you're providing meals, it could be up to 2 units because some centers are allowed to provide 2 meals per day. Then where it says EPSDT family plan, we don't need to add any data here. And then we will add the MPI where it says rendering number provider ID. Here we're going to add the MPI of the agency. Here on the software, you can add as many lines as you want, or you can delete them. Then on the segment 25, we need to add the federal tax ID number, and this is going to be the tax ID of your agency. And remember to select the option of EIN, okay? Because this is not the social security number, this is the tax ID or EIN number. Then we have the patient account number. Our software creates a unique account number for each one of our patients, okay? So here we will add that account number. Then we have the accept assignment, and we're going to select yes. Then on the segment 28, we have the total charges of the claim. On the segment 29, where it says amount paid, we don't need to add any data. And then we need to add the date of the creation of the claim on the segment 31, where it says signature of physician or supplier. Here we just need to add the date when the claim was created. Then on the segment 32, where it says service facility location info, we don't need to add any data. And then on the segment 33, which is the last one, where it says billing provider info and phone number, we're going to add the agency's information, the name, the address, the phone number, and we're going to add again the MPI of the agency. Once we add all the information, we're going to click where it says process, and it's going to download an EDI file. This is the file that we're going to submit through the clearinghouse. This is a text file, okay? With our software, you don't need to add all this information manually. Here on the patient name, we have a list with all the patients. So when you get the software, we add all your patients into the system. So if we select the patient, all the data is going to be shown on the claim, as you can see here. You don't need to add all that information manually. The only thing that you will need to add is the services that were provided. And here you can add as many lines as you want, or you can delete them, okay? As you noticed, the Claim 1500 or professional claim is easier to fill or to create because it doesn't require a lot of codes or data. However, you need to be careful with the information you add to avoid any rejection. Remember that we have more videos in our channel about medical billing, so you can go and check them. And if you have any problems with your claims or if you have any doubts, feel free to contact me at financialsupport@ontimeits.com and I will be more than happy to assist you. I hope you liked this video and don't forget to subscribe.